everyone, this is Douglas E. Welch and welcome back to another episode of In the Garden for A Gardener's Notebook. For more information, you can always visit the website douglasewelch.com for everything that I do. Now today we're out here in the garden just doing some quick video with the iPhone, but I had some special things to show you, something that doesn't happen that often out here in Los Angeles. Now you may remember when I was in this bed harvesting the sweet potatoes that I said we don't normally get a hard frost here in the Los Angeles area. Well, as you can see here, though, that is exactly what we got. The sweet potatoes are pretty much all died back. There may still be some life there underneath the vines. We'll see if anything sprouts back up. But this is what normally happens with sweet potatoes, is you get that hard frost, the first hard frost year, and that tells you that they're done growing for the year. And so I guess this means we'll need to get in here and dig the rest of these sweet potatoes out. Quite surprising. We had at least one night under freezing. And perhaps 2 or 3. The weather report didn't call for it to be that bad, but sure enough, in certain areas of the garden, it did get that cold. We can see here the basil that I had pruned back the other day just to try and get the bush out a little bit. It looks pretty much totally dead. Again, we'll see if it sprouts up again from the roots, but kind of hard to tell at this point what's going to happen. Luckily, I can take cuttings off our surviving basil and simply grow up some new ones. In a video a little while ago, I posted some footage of me planting up these strawberries, or at least the results of it. And you can see the main strawberry plant, the one that was in a pot, is looking fine. The one that was just a runner next to it is struggling a little bit, although I think that's more just to the fact that it was not perfectly rooted before I put it in there, and we'll see if it takes. So that came through okay. You see the kind of semi-native Asiatic dayflower that just kind of pops up here in the front garden. We let it grow because it looks nice and green and stuff. Well, it got hit pretty hard too, which is interesting. For a near native, I wouldn't think that the frost would affect it so badly, but it's all wilted down as well. Dahlias were unaffected by the frost whatsoever. Flowers and plants both. They seem to hold up very well to cold temperatures, at least those that aren't multiple days or weeks long. So you can see the blooms coming out quite nicely on this example right here by our front door. See on this basil plant in the containers that a lot of it was hit hard by the frost, but there's actually some continuous green growth going on in the back there. So reasonably assured that these will come back again after a week or so. The rest of our herbs in the containers were unaffected as well, including the peppermint here, and that's lemon thyme on the left. So that's good to know that despite the temperatures we did have, they weren't deep enough to damage the herbs. The nasturtiums took a little hit from the frost, or although the main plant is still looking fine, anything out here on the fringes looks like it got nipped pretty well. The good thing to see that our mother plant of our basil, the one I take all the cuttings off of, seemed to come through totally unscathed. I'm guessing it's because it's in this position right next to this south-facing wall, and I bet you there was enough heat here to radiate back and keep this particular area from freezing at all. In fact, you can see the dayflower, like we saw in the front bed, right next to it there as well, and our poinsettia and other things, and they look fine. So I'm guessing the south-facing wall really helped to just keep this a few degrees higher. Potting bench, you can see that the basil here is pretty much okay. I see one little piece that's died back here, but everything else looks good. The lavender didn't suffer at all, and even the sweet potato vines that are here on the bench that I keep for planting out new cuttings, well, they did fine here as well. So again, I'm assuming this big wall here probably acts as a nice little heat sink and keeps the potting bench from freezing. That's good to know for more tender plants in the future. I'll make sure that if I don't cover them entirely, I'll at least move them back here against a fence so that they stay nice and warm. Finally in the garden today, well, this had nothing to do with our frost. It did have to do with the rain and wind we had a few weeks ago before the cold temperatures. This trellis was never that sturdy, and the cladostoma vine is quite vigorous, as you can see from its roots down here, and it finally just overwhelmed this trellis entirely. It basically twisted off a leg down at the bottom. So we see another one in the background you might be able to see there with another cladostoma vine on it. It is leaning as well. What we've been doing is we're looking online for some trellises. We're going to replace both these trellises, and it'll be nice. It'll add a nice little decorative element to the garden and kind of spruce up this area and give this cladostoma vine another good, sturdy place to grow. That's it for this episode of In the Garden from a Gardener's Notebook. Hope you've enjoyed it. For more information, you can always visit the website, douglasewelch.com. There you'll find links to a gardener's notebook as well as everything else that I do. I'd love to see what's going on in your garden. Send links, pictures, photographs, videos, whatever. Let me see what's happening and what you're doing in these cold winter months or in these warm winter months if you happen to be elsewhere in the world. Again, for more information, visit douglasewelch.com. And until next time, keep protecting your plants and keep digging.